Not 385 pounds by itself, so definitely want to move it without it if you can. All right, so first off, these two pieces right here, this is an extra wireless remote and this is the charger for it. There's a USB port on the chair so it could charge it. I never actually set this up. I always just set it off to the side and say, if you want to set this on or turn this on, just power it up, charge it, turn it on, you're ready to go. I always leave the wired one because then they don't lose it, stuff like that. The other thing that you have are these little guys. These are just extra filters for the air purifiers on the shoulder part. There's already some installed. These are just extras. Hand them all those pieces right there and just say, keep these for safekeeping. Extra filters, wireless remote if you ever mess up the other one or something. You have these two pieces, which are just like the presidential footrest ears, those little plastic pieces, but much bigger. So these go on the ears of the footrest, and they're the part that goes right here into the clamp and holds it tight. These are just caps for the arms. I'll show those in the steps for the assembly. Same thing with these. These are caps to go right here on the shoulder compressions. So this is the challenge, the screws. So you'll notice, if you separate all of these, first off, these two, their washer cannot be removed, so it's stuck on there. So those are one version there. You have these 4 screws here, these 4 screws here, these 4 washers, and those 2 washers. So the easiest thing to do is to separate it into the 2 halves of the chair, basically. So you need 1 for each one, 2 of these for each one, 1 of those, 1 of those, 2 of those, and 2 of those. So now we have each side separated. The easiest thing to remember is the biggest screw gets the washer, the bigger washer. The 2 smallest screws get the 2 small washers. Now from there, these 2, the one with the attached washer and the big gigantic one, are like the last step. So we're gonna separate those off to the side for right now. So now we're left with these 3 right here, which are our first steps. First thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna do the shoulder compression pads, which if you look at these, so this is the shoulder compression pad, 2 little tiny screws. There's only 1 screw that fits in there. Pretty self-explanatory there. You could usually figure that part out. So the way that this attaches on is just get it close to this, and you just want to slip this on right here and just rest it there. Do not push down on that just yet. Go ahead and attach on the power connector that's in here. There's only one, and just like all the others, it only goes in one way. There we go. Now, the reason why you don't want to push down on that is because of these 2 screws, the little tiny ones. Where did my drill go?
It's over there.
Oh. These screws are super hard to line up if you attach all of that stuff first. So always do these 2 first. They go right here into the inside. You want to get them started. Do not tighten them down. With this chair, keep everything loose until the end. Okay. So now that we got that on, and like I said, it's just tightened in there just enough to get it like started. We're not actually tightening anything down. You want to make sure that you line up these 2 holes to where they line up to the 2 holes on that little rubber piece, and then press down, and you'll feel it to where like the 2 rubber or the 2 barb fittings press into, there it goes, into the actual rubber gasket that's on there. Now it's ready for the 3 screws. So right here, you'll see that there's these 2 cups. Then you have one that's just like a flat hole right there, and then this one that has the raised like nut on there. So what you do is the 2 right here, these are the 3 that we have left for this next piece. These 2 that are the same size go into these cups right here. This longer one goes right here in this top hole. This is for the arm once it goes on. That's that super long screw, and I'll show you that here in a second. So go ahead. And I always start with this one because then I'm able to press down, get it to line up, and you could see that it popped in there once I pressed down. And then tighten that up. Oh, what's going on now? it. Yep.
You have to lift it sometimes.
Yeah. This one is up more. There it is. There.
Back this shit out. Took me like 1 hour to push one. The first time that I did that shit.
Okay. Now the shoulder compression is done. You just repeat it on the other side. So now you can see on this side, this connection is a little different. That one, it plugged directly into it and just sat there and that was it. This one, you're gonna connect onto here like that and you're gonna shove it through the hole. Because if you don't, it's gonna get stuck up in here and it's not gonna go down all the way. So again, we'll just put it right there. Oh, I forgot the one last step. Now you can tighten these all the way. These, don't use the number 6 on your clutch. Like they will take a lot less a lot of the times.
We use a screwdriver.
Yeah, that's the best thing. So again, magnetic tips are your friend with any of your tools on this chair because you will almost drop the screws many times like I just did.
You can't mix them up. Every screw has the same.
Okay.
Line them up in the hole.
Now the last 3 again, before you do those. These lined up. There we go. One here on the top. All right, so now the footrest is the easiest thing to put on right now. Wait till the end for the arms. So you take off these little things. These are just covers that go over that to make it look prettier. That's it. Remove the screws just like the Presidential. Flip up the arms just like the Presidential. This one's annoying because you will have to hold this flat back. If it gets caught in here and you clamp that down, it's not fun.
Built like 50 of these like a month ago.
Any caps? Yep. So just like all the others, keep the hoses straight. Okay, don't forget the little pieces that have to go on the ears right here. And now you'll lift this up onto there. There we go. Flip that down. Side. Okay. The reason why you do this now rather than doing it later after the arms are on is because of these. Now it's real easy to get your arms in here and these just wrap around and Velcro on. And it's easier to zip this up now too. Okay. Now the arms. So just like the other ones, you'll want to get it rested close to where you need to go. You have on this one two connections and one hose. Just like the Presidential, they give you no slack at all, so get it very close to where you have to go. They only go in one way. They're color coded on the 2 power connections. Can't really mess that up. Again, pull back the spring. Grab the rubber hose. All right, so now you can see this metal bar here. It has to get tucked up underneath on that plastic piece. So you just lift this up and kind of rock it down until you feel it settle into place, basically. Now it's the other two screws that we came across earlier that I set off to the side, the small one with the attached washer, big one with the big washer. What I do is start with this one. If you pull open a little bit, you'll be able to see the socket where you need to get the screw and you can line it up easier. Oh, what's going on there? There we go. And I just barely get it started. So like I said, everything, keep it loose until the end, because this one down here is a pain in the butt. You'll drop this screw 1,000 times, so try not to. Use magnetic tips as much as possible. Look at it first with a light, look at where the hole is, and generally speaking, what you have to do is pull the arm forward like this and up a little bit, and that will line it up. That's usually how it goes. But you get it in there until you get it going. Now that's in, I can tighten this up. And then tighten this up. And that's it. You repeat that. This flap just goes down in here to cover the electronics. Repeat the same steps over here.
No.
All right, last steps here, similar to the presidential. You have the remote that's keyed, same way. So you have the one little notch right there, has the collar that you screw down. The only difference is it's on the front side of the pad this time where it's easier to get to. So they made it a little bit better, but they made everything else more difficult for you. Remote goes right here in this little side pouch that's built into the arm. If the customer ever asks about the wireless remote and all this other stuff, like I said, it's just a standard USB charger. The USB charger is right down here underneath this little rubber flap. So if they wanted to charge it on that at the same time, they could charge it on the chair, stick it in there, everything will work. Last piece is...
Is there any syncing with the wireless controller?
Nope, just automatically goes, yep. So on these caps, one is stamped with an L on the inside, one is stamped with an R. That's corresponding to, as you're sitting in the chair, the left side and the right side. So left side, yep, it's gonna go here. You'll notice that there's a little arrow on the top or on one side of the circle. That basically faces towards the top of the chair. So if you kind of line it up towards that direction, stick it in there and just spin it a little bit, you'll feel it click into position there. So just to show you right here again.
And how do you take it out?
Pull it out. There's actually like a little tiny gap that you can stick like a small screwdriver in there to like pry it out. But usually if you got some nails at least, like not freshly like cut, you can grab the lip of it and just pull it right out. Now these, same thing. They have a left and a right stamped into there. You'll notice that one side is stationary, the other side is tensioned. So you can actually like clip it in there. So what you want to do is it only goes in one way. Stick the side that's